Diana is one of the most popular reoccurring events on Hypixel Skyblock, and if played correctly, rewards the player with a lot of money. In this guide I will attempt to cover all the stuff you need to start out, starting from armor and weapons and ending off with pet rules, and I will show techniques that will help you to improve your raids, especially your burrows per hour. The guide will be divided in a lot of chapters, so if you're just here for a specific thing, feel free to use the timestamps. Starting off with just general information about the Diana event, the event is called the Mythological Ritual and occurs every time Diana is elected with that specific perk. Diana is also selling the two most important items that you will need for the event, first one being an Ancestral Spade, which costs 5000 coins and 32 gold ingots, and then the Griffin Pet, which costs just 25,000 coins. Having the Griffin Pet equipped allows you to participate in the event and find burrows, and the Ancestral Spade, if right click, guides you towards those burrows, showing a particle trail. When you follow the particle trail, you will arrive at one burrow. There's three different types of burrows. There's the starting burrow that looks like this with blue particles. Then there's the mob burrow, which just has the crit particles. And the third one has like yellow particles, and that's a treasure burrow. Those burrows work in chains. This means when I dig up a starting burrow, a 4 burrow chain will start. Generally, the first one is always a starting one, second and third are mostly mob burrows, and the fourth one is always a treasure one. Every time you dig up a burrow, it will show you the arrow, which will point towards the direction of the next one. And if you dig up a mob burrow, you will have to kill the mob first, and then it will show the direction afterwards. The arrow that you dig up can have 3 different colors. Orange means the next burrow is within 100 blocks, yellow means it's something around 100 and 250 blocks, and red means it's 250 blocks or more blocks away from this burrow. When you dig up a mob burrow, there's 6 mobs that can spawn: the Minus Hunter, the Siamese Laxus, the Minotaur, the Gaia Construct, the Midas Champion, and the Inquisitor. Only 3 of those mobs can drop good stuff. The Minotaur can drop the Daedalus Stick, which sells for a bit on the bazaar and is used to craft the Daedalus Axe. The Midas Champion can drop the Midas Relic, which is sold for quite a bit on the auction house and is used for your G-Drag to get more magic find. And finally, the Inquisitor can drop the Chimera book, which is just good in general and sold for a lot of coins as well. Also, the Mythological Ritual is just happening in the hub, no other islands, so most people just go to the hub selector and use the random hub select to find a private lobby to do it with their friends or alone. Also, a quick thing before we start, we have a community Discord with a lot of nice people in there that can help you out with any of your questions. There's also a lot of resources that I use, like my texture pack or weapons that I use, so make sure to check it out. The only pet you really need is the Griffin Pet, and I wouldn't recommend you do this event if you can't use the legendary Griffin Pet yet, since the common, uncommon and rare variants are all pretty bad because you can't get the Chimera book, and that's like the main money source from the Diana event. In later progression you should also get the G-Drag with a Midas Relic to get more magic find when killing Inquisitors, but we'll cover that later when we come to how to kill Inquisitors. There's only really 2 weapons you could use when doing the Mythological Ritual. The first one is the Daedalus Blade. This is mandatory because you'll need this to kill the Inquisitor and get a lot of magic find, and if you're meleeing the mobs, that's the blade that does damage. The second weapon you could use is the Hyperion. This one you only use if you're maging or if you just have it in general, and use it as a utility item to do just a small amount of damage if you're meleeing. If you're a beginner and just want to start out doing Diana, the minimal armor I would recommend is Shadow Assassin. This has pretty high HP and pretty high DPS, and it will probably be enough to kill all the mobs, but I would recommend you still get a party for the Inquisitors, because if you die to them it's pretty sad and you lose a chance to get a Chimera book. The next upgrade from here will be 3/4 Necron plus Shadow Assassin boots, because the Shadow Assassin boots restore 10 mana every time you teleport, which is very useful when teleporting around the island, and since you're meleeing, you don't have as much mana and the 10 restoration is pretty good. Now from here on you can either stick to full Necron or switch to Crimson. Crimson will be generally better if you upgrade it further, like after burning an Infernal it gets better than Necron, but Necron will just work fine as well. Now if you want to mage Diana, you should keep in mind that you will need a Hyperion, and there's 2 armor sets that you could use for that. First one being 3/4 Storm with Wither Goggles, and the second one being 3/4 Aurora with Wither Goggles. They're pretty similar. If you have one of them, just use it, and if you want like to just go for Diana and not for dungeons, you should get the Aurora because it will be better as you upgrade it. For the equipment you should always be using your Rift Necklace and your David's Cloak because they give you extra magic find. For the belt and the bracelet, there's a lot of choices. If you are a mage, you should use the Implosion belt, which gives you a lot more damage and speeds up your whole grinding process. If you are melee, you can use anything you want pretty much that gives you strength or crit damage. I would recommend use the Primordial, but it's pretty much very expensive. It gives you the best damage buff though, and for the bracelet is also pretty much up to you. Whatever you have, whatever gives you the most strength or crit damage, or if you're mage, intelligence in that case, and yeah. There's also a few utility items that will help you with the Diana grind. First one is the Aspect of the End or Aspect of the Void. That's arguably the most important one because it helps you navigate around the hub and just makes it all easier. You should upgrade this as soon as you can. You should put Ultimate Wise 5 on it and the Power Scroll that gives you mana back every time you teleport. The second item is the Fire Free stuff. It's pretty cheap, it costs like 1 or 2 million on the AH. You should get it as soon as you can. You use it every time someone spawns an Inquisitor. It costs a lot of mana, but it's worth it. It frees the Inquisitor for like 5 seconds in place and makes it easier to hit for everyone. Similar to the Fire Free stuff, there's the Gyrokinetic Wand, which will allow you to also almost freeze the Inquisitor in place and move it around a bit easier. This one is rarely used. I don't use it personally myself, but you can get it if you want to. It's a bit more expensive as well than the Fire Free stuff and not as mandatory. And the last item would be the Fishing Rod. This one is just used to swap between your pets. You can also do it manually, but it's way more easier to do it with a fishing rod and you just need 2 pearls for that. So if you have them, you should get a fishing rod as well. If you're doing Diana alone, you can use anything you want to do Diana, it's up to you. But if you want to join a party, there's a few mods you'll need. The first mod, and arguably the most important one, is SkyHenny. You can access by typing /sh or typing in /SkyHenny, both work. Then you go over to events and Diana, and here are the settings. The most important one is if you go down and click this one, Inquisitor Waypoint Sharing. You should enable it and do instant share as well. This one is pretty good because if you're in a party, you like share instantly when an Inquisitor spawns and people can teleport to you instantly. There will be like a waypoint and a big announcement in the middle of your screen. And I also use the guessing from SkyHenny. You can also use it from any other mods, but I think that's pretty much the best one. I also use nearby detection. That's when you teleport around and it sees like a burrow, it will also highlight that. It's pretty nice if you want to do multiple burrows at once. And also line to the next is pretty good, because if you are lost and looking in this direction, you know, like the tracer, it shows you, okay, there's the waypoint. The next mod is Sky Tilts. This one I use mainly to do the key shortcuts. I only use 2. I use /hub and warp castle. Those are both my mouse buttons. This means when I press the button, I am instantly warped to the hub or to the castle in this case. This helps you to navigate around as well. And yeah, you don't have to type it every time into the chat. It's pretty nice. You can also use it for the tracker. I wouldn't recommend it because there's a better one I'll show next. And the last mod is SBO. You can import it by doing /ct import SBO. And then you can access by typing /SBO. This one is pretty nice. It has like the best tracker, I think. I installed it late, so my tracker isn't like accurate. That's why I use SkyTilt still. But yeah, you can like see it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate as well. But like I installed it yesterday and it doesn't have like all my stats, so I don't use it. But I would recommend to use it. It also has like a lot of chat commands, like !burrow or !since. It like also shows you how many Inquisitors you had since like your Chimera, how many mobs you had since Inquisitor. Yeah, it's a pretty nice mod. It's also easy to import, you just need chatters for that. If you don't have any of those mods, I will link all the official discords from the mods down below, so you can install them. Now, when you want to join a party, you should go over to the Skyblock Discord. I'll link this in the description. You scroll down and go over to the Looking for a Party channel. As you can see, there's a lot of people searching for a party here, and generally there's like 2 different parties. One of them is Eman 9. Eman 9 means you will have to be Eman Slayer level 9. Eman Slayer level 9 makes it so you spawn more Inquisitors. And there's like regular parties as well. If they don't have like E9 or Eman 9 in the description, it's a regular party. If you see like someone saying L5, L5 means looting 5. This means they have like a looting 5 person that kills everyone's Inquisitors. If you're curious, benefits of a party are that you can loot share other people's Inquisitors. that you can use a G-Drag on your own Inquisitor, and that you get a Legion buff from 5 other people, which means you get more Magic Find. Now for some party rules, generally if you have only one Looting 5 killer, he has the priority and kills all the Inquisitors, because Looting 5 is only applied from the killer, and Magic Find is applied from yourself, so this means only the killer has to have Looting 5. If you're in a more sweaty party and everyone has Looting 5, you should make pairs and kill each other Inquisitor. This means if like the people in the lobby are in my party, I would make like a pair of Small Man 5, and he would kill my Inquisitors and I would kill his Inquisitors, so we get the G-Drag buff. The most important stat during the Ana is Magic Find, because it allows you to get more books in the same amount of time. And there's a few sources you can get it from. The main source would be a Daedalus Plate and Bestiary. The Daedalus Plate copies your pet stats, that's why you get a lot of Magic Find if you have a G-Drag equipped. You can also put enchants like Chimera and Divine Gift on it, which will further increase the Magic Find. If you frag your Daedalus Plate, you also get this buff down here, which gives you 0.5 Magic Find against mythological mobs for each Bestiary tier you have unlocked in your Mythological Bestiary. If you go over to the Mythological Bestiary, you can see you also get a lot of Magic Find for the specific type of mob that you kill. For example, if you max out Inquisitors, you also get plus 70 Magic Find on them. This one stacks, so this means if you have this Bestiary max, you get 60 on your Daedalus Plate, plus 70 from the minus Inquisitor Bestiary itself. When killing an Inquisitor, you should also be swapping to a Magic Find set like Full Sorrow, or 3/4 Sorrow with a Crown of Avarice, or Clover Helmet, to get more Magic Find. Also, make sure to put Legion 5 and Renowned on every piece, so you get the most amount of Magic Find possible. I wouldn't recommend you swap to your Sorrow set when killing other mobs like the Minotaur or the Minus Champion, because the drop chance of those good drops from them is way too low to be even worth like swapping to Magic Find. Another thing that you can use are Shurikens. They give you plus 5% Magic Find. You should only use them on Inquisitors. It's like a Clover Helmet buff, just for 40,000 coins, not like 11 billion, so it's pretty much worth it to use it. And everyone that loot shares also gets the buff from the plus 5% Magic Find. There's also a few people that use kill combo buffs to get more Magic Find on their Inquisitors. This means if there's an Inquisitor right here, you should Aspect the Void up, throw a Pearl, go to Warp Crypt, kill some Crypticals here, get a combo of 5 or 15, depends on how much you can get. Then when you teleport back, you type in R in chat, and when the killer sees that, he kills your Inquisitor, and you get those 2 buffs on your Magic Find as well. Now, how to kill your Inquisitor and how to kill someone else's Inquisitor. I'll do a quick tutorial right here, but first of all, we'll need 2 pet rules. And one of them will be to equip your Golden Dragon, and the other one to equip the Griffin. Those are the main pet rules you'll need. And when you get them like I do, every time you throw a fishing hook, like a different pet equips. So this means if my Griffin was equipped, I throw my fishing hook, Golden Dragon is equipped, and so on. Okay, so now let's say I dig up an Inquisitor right here. First thing I do is I use the Fire Free stuff. People already see the message that I got one. Then I throw a Shuriken on it, like while the people are coming here. I equip my Golden Dragon, hold my Daedalus Plate so I get the Magic Find, and quickly swap to my Sorrow armor. While I do this, people are already here hitting the Inquisitor and the killer kills it. And after that, you can also just like swap back to your Griffin pet, equip your normal armor and continue grinding. Now let's say someone else in my party spawned an Inquisitor, I get the message, it's right there where we just killed mine. I hype it like twice or 3 or 4 times. I do like a little bit of damage, not much, like it's enough to do maybe 400,000, maybe 1 million damage, that's enough. You don't need to do like 5 million or 10 million. Don't nuke the Inquisitor, just do a little bit of damage, and then same thing, swap to your G-Drag and swap to your Sorrow armor. You can also help with the Fire Free stuff or a Shuriken, whatever they need, and wait for it to die. If you're the killer, of course, don't swap to your Golden Dragon, you equip your Griffin and kill it. And now just like a few random tips, if you're mealing the whole event, you should get a Soulflow Supercell, which allows you to get Overflow Mana. This is very helpful when teleporting around the hub and gives you a pretty nice boost. And you should also put your Reforges on Hurtful, and don't put your tunings on crit damage, because you get enough damage from Hurtful itself. Put it on Intelligence, this will also give you a nice buff, and I think like around 2000 it is together. is pretty much enough for me to never run out of mana. The Bloodshot Reforge allows you to respawn Inquisitors, but only if the killer respawns it. This means if my Inquisitor is killed by someone else, but I have this thing, and he doesn't, it won't respawn. Also, if you respawn someone else's Inquisitor, it still is his Inquisitor that respawns, not yours. This means he will get like the full drop and you will get the rule chair still, but it's just a few extra Inquisitors, it's nice to have. It's quite expensive, but I think it's worth it in the long run. If you plan on doing Diana for a very long time, you should get the 4-eyed fish pet item. You can put this only on your Griffin pet. This one gives you 10 magic find on all the other mobs except for the Inquisitor, because you'll use a G-Deck there, which is pretty nice. And you also get 2000 coins per burrow that you dig up. Even if it's a starting burrow or like a treasure burrow, you still get the 2000 coins into your purse every time. And this pays off after like a lot of burrows, but it's pretty much worth it if you like want to do Diana for a very long time. And another way to get some extra profit is the Diana's bookshelf. You can get this from this Shen's special auction for 75 million, or just buy it from the AH for a bit more. And this one will keep track of your books that you'll get, of your Chimera books. This means if you get it to 6 from 6, it's pretty much maxed and sells for way more than 75 million on the AH. As you can see here, it's like 125 mil. Okay, maybe it's like not that much, but still 25 million profit for just having it in your inventory and then selling it later. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the guide to Diana. If you think that I've missed anything, or if you have like a better way to do something, let me know in the comments. I'll pin a summarizing comment if that is the case. If it's not the case and you scroll in the comments, there's no pinned comment, there's nothing that I've left out. It probably won't be the case, but we'll see. And yeah, other than this, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.